All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar today. My name is Upasna. I will be moderating Cybolt's webinar. We have Mauricio and Luis here with us today. Mauricio is the chairman of Cybolt and Luis is the CEO. For all those of you who are unaware, Cybolt is a full suite digital risk management and cybersecurity company that is currently raising capital on Republic right now. And so far, they've collected over 2.3 million from 596 unique investors. A couple of key highlights on Cybolt. They are a result of the successful merger of market leaders in Latin America. They have over 200 plus active international clients, a revenue generation of 26.5 million in 2020, and a projected revenue of over 51 million for 2021. Definitely a highly lucrative opportunity, and we're super excited to address all your questions live on the call today. This might be your last chance to ask Mauricio and Luis your questions. The campaign does end on Friday, so there are only 3 days left to participate in the offering. On that note, I will pass the mic over to Mauricio and Luis to introduce themselves as well as the investment opportunity in Cybolt.
Thank you, Upasna. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And thank you for giving us some time for us to be able to talk about our project. I'm going to be sharing a presentation. So we want to talk about Cybolt today. Basically, we are a cybersecurity services company that has focused in end-to-end solutions to companies in the region. And we do it by having a very broad portfolio of services so we can cover all your requirements in terms of cybersecurity. We start by concentrating in what is key in our strategy, which is the integral risk management and assessment. And from there, we have an end-to-end solution. For that, we cover services from before, during, and after cybersecurity attack. That is, we prevent, we remedy, and we prevent, contain, and remedy cybersecurity attacks for our services, for our clients. For that, we have a number of service offerings that go all the way from infrastructure to cyber intelligence or forensics. And we bundle those services together so that we can produce services to public and corporate safety, as well as we bundle them to create managed security services and also business continuity with our resilience managed services. What we do is that we can either offer projects on key projects to big clients, as well as scalable services provided to companies that want to entrust us with their cybersecurity. What do we believe are our main comparative advantages? Well, first of all, we're one-stop shop. We do offer services for our clients, and they need not go anywhere else to complete that service. We bring in people with entrepreneurial minds and with great experience, and they are retained in the team so that we can jointly be able to serve our clients. We use international standards, technologies, and obviously highly certified engineers so that our services are world-class. And we have a lot of experience, more than 25 in the companies that were put together to bring this project to life. We are also able, because of our delivery platform to deliver those services basically anywhere in the world. And because of our structure, we have a very significant cost competitive advantage, which is very scalable. And that will give us the great opportunity in terms of the business opportunity for you as an investor. Just to give you an idea, we serve customers in the financial sector. Some of those logos you will be very familiar with, but we also serve in the retail, in the industrial, and even in governmental agencies. On the other hand, we use technologies of partners that are well known to every one of you, all the way from the names you know in the United States and other parts in the world with international certifications and recognitions. Our company in its own right has been awarded and recognized by international organizations, as well as from several of our partners who have entrusted us with using their solutions to deliver our services. So what is the market opportunity looking like? Well, this is a huge market. It's more than 160 billion as for 2020. And it is expected to grow to basically 3 times that much by the end of this decade. So the market is huge, but it's also very fragmented. So that's a great opportunity for consolidation. This is where we are focusing. This is a platform that is designed to bring people in and keep them in to make a team so that we all together can serve your purposes. Cybersecurity in the United States is soaring. It's growing at very high rates. And according to the New York Times, there will be at least a 3.5 million posts deficit by the end of this year. So it is a huge, huge, huge opportunity in terms of market opportunity and in terms of the demand that is out there. There's a number of, you've all seen a number of news out there, all the way from President Biden to all sorts of publications of the importance and the size of these requirements in the United States alone. The world is not dissimilar to that. As we mentioned, we were born from the integration of 4 specialized cybersecurity companies, and our inorganic growth is in the center of our strategy, both to gain size and critical mass, as well as to complete our portfolio of services. Today, in Mexico, now we are the number 2 in terms of size in revenues, and we have the advantage of already being profitable. We're cash flow positive at an operating level, and we carry no debt. So this gives us a very significant advantage into making sure that your investments are well taken care of. We will continue to grow inorganically, and this is why we will be continuing to raise capital, because we need to keep integrating players, particularly as we enter the North American market. We have been having very significant growth rates, and we will continue doing that. And we have a diversified portfolio, and we will continue including additional services as we go on. We have a very institutional corporate structure, and from inception, we have always had the mindset of going to the market. So therefore, we believe strongly in institutional corporate governance. We also believe that this has to happen so that the model can be scaled. And because we want to achieve the financial goals that we have just described, we have devised this shared services platform so that this can be achieved in the midterm when we hopefully are able to make an IPO. Just to give you an idea of our numbers, we expect to grow from our $32 million revenue as we closed in 2020 at a pro forma level. We expect organic and inorganic growth, as is shown in the graph, until we come to $320 million worth of revenue by the time we face an IPO. This is our goal and our idea. This will be accompanied by a likewise growing EBITDA generation that should drive us into the vicinity of $50 million worth of EBITDA by then. And that, combined with some other factors, will give us a $1 billion valuation over that period of time. So what are the takeaways from this? We do have a very ambitious, both organic and inorganic growth targets. We have devised a platform that is able to both attract and retain talent, because we want people to help us close that demand gap in the United States, which is huge and will keep growing at a tremendous pace. We will do acquisitions in the United States of companies with commercial reach that will help us deploy our services in the United States while delivering from Latin America with a very significant cost advantage. And this is how we plan to give you, as an investor, a very interesting return. Okay, so that's in a nutshell what our company is all about. And we're more than happy to take any questions from you.
Thank you so much, Mauricio and Luis, for that fantastic presentation. And for everyone in the audience that's listening, please feel free to plug your questions into the chat box below or the Q&A box, and we will address them from there. Thank you. Okay, we just got our first question. Jeremy Greiner asks, how do you feel you will be able to identify good companies to acquire in North America?
Thank you. We are developing, in association with professionals in the United States, a short list of companies that we will be addressing. And there will be, of course, due diligence processes to make sure that they have especially what we are looking for, which is that market reach, and that they are able to deploy our service offering to local customers in the United States.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Fernando Cantu asks, what countries are you currently operating from, and what other countries will you include, and how soon?
Okay, right now we are operating in Mexico. We have the headquarters in Mexico City, and we have 2 delivery centers, one in a city near from Mexico City, another one at the north of the country in the Monterrey. And also we have another office in Bogota, in Colombia, in order to attend requirements for customers in South America and Central America. And also we have 2 customers in the Caribbean.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, hopefully, Fernando, that answered your question. Everyone else, please feel free to plug more questions into the chat. Just want to remind you, this is the one and only opportunity you get to have your questions addressed by Cybolt's team live and in person, in real time. It's a very special opportunity. Their campaign is one of the top performing campaigns on Republic at the moment and has incredible momentum. And it is ending in the next 3 days. So this really is your chance to get your questions answered, no matter how small or big they may be. Okay, we have a couple more that came in. Jeremy asks, do you reserve the right to take on debt?
Oh, certainly. We don't have any debt at the moment. and we don't intend in the short term to grow inorganically with debt, but there will be a moment when that will be an advisable strategy. This is probably from 2022 onwards, but not at the moment.
Awesome. Okay, Kevin Hardman asks, do you anticipate issues with countries limiting the companies you can pursue because of concerns about foreign ownership of security assets?
Well, there are some geographies that are more jealous than others in terms of that type of ownership. The United States is a very practical and open-minded ecosystem. And of course, when it comes to security, there are some instances that are reserved to US-based companies, and that's not the market where we are pretending to go. Obviously, we are pretending to go to the very open market. Now, what we will be basically offering services rather than acquiring assets, and we are not concerned about dealing with the company's information. We are offering services to keep that information safe from third parties.
I have a question as well. So what competitors do you have in the space, and how do you position yourself, or how do you see yourself alongside your competitors?
Well, there's a number of competitors. Some of them are, for example, in the reselling space, companies that will take technologies of third parties and just sort of sell the technology without the service component in them. That's sometimes that they are seen as competitors. There are others like us that will use technologies from third parties to offer services, and this is really the market where we are. So there are a number of them, and would you like to mention a little bit about it, Luis Adrián?
Yes, well, another competitors are the telecom companies. The telecom companies nowadays are providing cybersecurity services in order to complement their offering and to protect their services. For that reason, many telecommunication companies now are competitors in the cybersecurity space. Also in Mexico, some companies with hosting services are providing a cybersecurity service in order to protect their hosting services. That's another competitor. But Cybolt, we are trying to be a cybersecurity provider only. We don't have any other solutions, only cybersecurity solution for our customers.
Awesome. Okay. And then we have another question. How do you deal with the talent shortage?
That's a very good question. For that purpose, what we do is that we have agreements with different education institutions, universities and technologicals and so on. And what we do is we formed the Cybolt University, that is specialized courses for technical engineers to acquire the cybersecurity skills, and we generate our own, let's say, supply of talent.
Awesome. Okay, so can I ask why you chose to go the crowdfunding route? What inspired you to raise capital on Republic as opposed to more traditional means of financing?
Certainly. Well, for us, crowdfunding is not only a check. It is the possibility of having a number of investors. In this case, we are almost at the 600 investor bar. And this is a constant challenge because there's a number of very talented people that are out there that are trusting us. And also they are very knowledgeable of the market. So on the one hand, that pushes us to become better every day. On the other hand, that this process is one that will make the company better known than before. It's one very efficient way of making the company known within an atmosphere, within an environment that is very suitable for the nature of this business. Both of which we believe come hand in hand with our strategy. We will keep raising different equity rounds as we move on. And this is, for us, our debut in the markets.
Great. So you plan on raising another, you plan on launching another campaign in the near future?
Certainly. We will very likely be going on to campaigns that will be more ambitious than a crowdfunding campaign in terms of the money raised, maybe Reg A's or Reg D's, as we keep growing our requirements of inorganic equity budgets will be growing as well. And for us to achieve the size that we are looking for will require some capital deployments. And so we're definitely going to be out there.
Awesome. Okay, we just got another question from the audience. Fernando asks, do you plan to develop your own solutions or are you just a VAR?
That's another very good question. We certainly do not want to be a VAR, which is short for value added reseller, as we have not wanted to be, but we do use technologies of third parties to incorporate our own intellectual property in terms of how we bundle them together, how we make a packaged services solution to offer to the customers. We don't want just to resell other parties' products. We want to be able to produce a service, that value-added service to our customers based on internationally proven tools.
Awesome. And what do you plan on doing with the capital that you raised in this current Republic round?
Well, this round is basically to make a couple of acquisitions on the supply side. On the supply side, what we do is that we are incorporating portfolio companies that will broaden our portfolio of services so that we are better equipped to do the end-to-end servicing. As you can imagine, this is a service that is in constant evolution because we're out there trying to anticipate what the malice of some people are all constantly thinking of, right? So we need to incorporate very talented people that will be like one step forward. So this is a continuous plan. The bigger rounds will come for the commercial deployment in the United States, and that's going to be basically starting 2022.
2022. Okay, great. And do you have any revenue projections for 2022 yet?
Certainly. As we were sharing with you prior to this conversation, we expect to be in the vicinity of $180 million of revenue by the end of next year on a pro forma basis.
Wow, that's really fantastic. Congratulations on all the success with the campaign thus far. Maybe you want to tell the audience a little bit about your background in business and management, both of you.
Certainly. Well, I'm a system engineer from La Salle University in Mexico, and I have 30 years of experience in the IT sector. In my first 10 years, I worked in the outsourcing niche, providing outsourcing services for different customers in the financial sector, IT outsourcing. And then I have 20 years of experience in the security niche, in the cybersecurity niche. And we are creating different solutions for the bank, for different banks in Mexico, for different industries and retail customers here. This is my background.
I am an economist by profession, and I have been specializing in mergers and acquisitions for the last 20 years. And so what we have put together is the business experience in terms of cybersecurity services with putting together a plan to bring companies to become one bigger one, to be able to really scale up in the market.
Great. And have you received any investments in Cybolt prior to the Republic campaign?
Well, we've only made a round of close investors. We did have a round of about $6 million about a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. And this was really to trigger the ramp up of the growth of the company.
Sure.
And that's the only other round that we had prior to this one.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, if anyone has further questions, we'll give you another few minutes to plug them in the chat. I can also share my screen and pull up the campaign for everyone. So this is the raise page. As you can see, Cybolt has already collected over 2.3 million so far from 596 investors in just a couple of weeks. So, you know, I and the whole team here at DNA have just been really amazed by the kind of momentum that Cybolt has seen on the campaign. It's not often that companies raise so much money so quickly via equity crowdfunding, so that's really something. What kind of investor testimonials have you been receiving on the raise page, Mauricio and Luis? If there are any in particular that you'd like to share, any memorable ones?
Gladly. I would say I would group them into 3 or 4 recurrent comments. One of which is people are generally excited of joining cybersecurity as an industry. It's well known that this is a booming industry, and unfortunately, from the perspective of security, that is a great need. On the side of the opportunity, it's a huge one. And so people are very excited to be a part of this opportunity, on the one hand. On the other hand, people are usually surprised by the level of growth rates and profitability rates this company has achieved in such a short term, because we've only been around for less than 2 years now. And the reason is very simple. It's because it is by virtue of having put together companies that had already been on a very nice track record. So this is why we were able to scale up to this size so quickly. The big challenge was to be able to put the companies together and make them work as one. And this is the merit, really, and the rest of the team that are all completely convinced of the viability of this project, and also of the need to make one single team to face the challenge.
Yes, I read another comments about our portfolio. The comments are about all the services and products we can integrate. And that's our mission, no? Integrate a lot of technologies in different kind of services in order to be a one-stop shop, no? Because in the cybersecurity market, we have a lot of vendors, a lot of companies, and it's difficult to the customers find one provider for different kind of requirements. And this is interesting for us.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. We did have another question come in. Kevin Hardman asks, what is the main factor that will determine when you decide to have an IPO?
Well, there's a number of factors. One of them is the critical size, the critical mass, of course. We need to have a minimum size to be able to make an IPO interesting. By then, we need a number of metrics to be there, like the rate of growth, the gross margins, and the bottom line in terms of percentage, as a percentage of sales. The retention of our clients is another very important factor. Also, what we aim to have is a very good mix in terms of currencies. We pretend to have more than 60% of our revenues dollar-based in the United States, and having our Latin American current delivery centers, profitable as they will remain, become more of a platform to provide the services that will be sold and delivered in the United States.
Awesome. And when do you expect to, or rather, when do you hope to meet some of these targets by and start really planning for an IPO?
Our plan is to do that around the end of 2025.
I see. Okay. Amazing. Great. So just, okay, we have a couple more questions. Jeremy asks, what challenges have you had incorporating different companies into one?
Well, there's a number of challenges from the, at the end of the day, we are a company based in talent, and putting talent together has implications. People are used to doing things in a certain way, and making everybody work the same way takes time and determination. So that's one of the challenges. The other one of the challenges is to be able to compensate all the founders of the original companies in a way that everybody feels well taken care of. And that has been something that we've been lucky to have achieved. So we are very happy to have that. Now, in terms of operations?
In terms of operations in the day-to-day, we have different challenges, like the facilities, for example. No? When we integrate or merge a new company, they have their own facilities, and we need to evaluate which facilities make sense for the business in order to have the best facilities for the company. And then we need to work in the cultural part of the companies, because each company has different cultures, and we work to keep the positive things of each culture, and we integrate these things in the new Cybolt culture. And then talking about the solutions, we try to integrate the different solutions of each company in business units in order to maintain the knowledge and the people of each kind of solution that we can integrate in Cybolt.
Now, there's been another big challenge for everybody around the world, which is just been COVID, right? We were in the process of getting together as one when the COVID prevented us from being in the same rooms. So the offices were empty for quite a while. So there was a great project launched at with what the human resources area, what we call the people area in this company, and that was able to be done remotely, and people started to find the ways to collaborate in the same way, even if we were not together. So what we're very excited about is the fact that we were able to overcome such a hard moment, which is the COVID period, even when we were only getting together. So now that we've been able to overcome that, we are very positive that that is a challenge that we believe we have been able to find the formula to deal with in a very efficient manner.
Incredible. Great. Well, let's take one or two more questions before we wrap. I do have one more question for you both. So obviously the market opportunity with cybersecurity is booming. And another new phenomenon in finance and fintech in general is blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies that are going to be utilizing blockchain technology for cross-border payments. Do you see Cybolt expanding services, cybersecurity services, to include blockchain technology as well in the future?
Yeah, we are working to introduce that kind of technologies in our portfolio in the next years, because they have a lot of applications in the security niche. By example, for authentication, we think the authentications forms for different services like for banks, for example, for fintechs. We can use this kind of technologies to authentication for transactions or for users. And we are working in looking for this kind of companies. This kind of companies in order to integrate to Cyborg.
Amazing. Okay.
And definitely in artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, all these technologies will be part of our tools, absolutely, and the ones to come as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So we'll give everyone a minute. If you have any final questions, please put them in the chat, or else we can start getting ready to close the webinar out. Okay, well, it looks like there are no more questions, but thank you all for being here today, first of all, and taking 40 minutes out of your day to hear about Cybolt and have your questions addressed by Mauricio and Luis. If you are interested in investing in the offering for 7K or more, then Mauricio, where can these investors contact you if they would like to invest larger sums of money than just kind of the nominal amounts?
Certainly, you can email us at contact@cybolt.com, and we'll be returning your mails instantly.
Fantastic. And just want to reiterate, there are only 3 days left in the campaign. This is really your opportunity to invest in this groundbreaking cybersecurity company at the ground level. You probably won't get this valuation again. So now is your chance. Get in on the momentum. Get in with the other 560 plus investors that have already participated, and own a portion of Cybolt, because you may not get the opportunity to do so again at this price. And Thank you all for being here. 3 days left to invest. Definitely go check out the campaign and feel free to leave any questions in the comment section of the campaign if you have any, or if you want to, chat with Mauricio or Luis directly, you can reach them on contact@cybolt.com. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Mauricio and Luis, are there any final closing words that you would like to leave attendees with?
Yes, I would like to say we're very happy to present this opportunity for you as an investor. Why do we believe it's an opportunity you should not let go? Because there is very few opportunities based on such a proven market, with a track record proven company, with a very broad group of professionals behind it that has been in this industry for a number of years. So it's a proven ability to deliver the services with a proven market, with a great opportunity of growth that will definitely turn out to become the best insurance to your returns in your investments.
Amazing, amazing. Jeremy says, thank you for your time. Yeah.
No, thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and your questions.
Amazing. Okay, well, on that note, thank you all and have a great rest of your Tuesday. We are officially wrapping up.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Welcome on board.